Happy Thursday, everybody. It's Josh here with On the Wrong Lead, live from Skyline Chili with Cowboy DeRosa behind me. And yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of fun today. We're not gonna really do too deep of a dive into any kind of handicapping or anything like that. We're gonna talk about some of this Breeders' Cup stuff. The early pre-entry PPs came out yesterday, so we're gonna have a little fun. And we're gonna do a little contest, and there's gonna be a little viewer participation. We'll have some prizes, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. It looks like PDT already in here saying first. Since he said first, I know some feedback I've gotten is that viewers love watching me open bottles of whiskey. I don't know what it is, but luckily the first bottle I'm going to open today is a screw cap. So it's a nice bottle of Weller SR. You can't really see it, but easy. All of them should be screw caps. Piece of cake. Oh man, who do I tag in first? I guess we'll talk with Mark. Mark, how you doing? Excited for this? I mean, you got to be really excited for this Breeders' Cup. I mean, you are just going to have the absolute best viewing experience you possibly can. You're going to experience the races exactly how they should be experienced. Tell the viewers, where are you going to be for the Breeders' Cup?
I'm going to be sitting on a beach, probably with a tiki drink. But when I'm not at my sister's wedding, because my sister, who grew up right near Saratoga and enjoys going to horse racing, decided that Breeders' Cup weekend was obviously the best day to get married on. Breeders' Cup Friday. Great idea. Awesome. The best.
I sense a little sarcasm in your voice there, Mark.
There is a touch of sarcasm. I had every intention of being in San Diego at Del Mar and watching the races live, but it didn't happen this year, So a little frustrated. It's going to make my my wagering experience a little bit hard. But I'm hoping Caribbean Wi-Fi is passable for broadband, for streaming.
Brian, what do you think if we named our On the Wrong Lead claimer Caribbean Wi-Fi?
No, I think it'd be a horrible idea.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got distracted. Can you believe I got distracted?
No,
I was trying to do something to make fun of Mark, and I failed.
It's because I threw in that Caribbean Wi-Fi joke in there. You didn't see that one coming.
No, you completely got me with that one. I was sitting here just minding my own business, trying to screw with Mark, and now I can't. So
yeah, I do have a question though. Why do you say please no cheap speed? I thought there's no such thing as cheap speed.
Just like there's no such thing as class.
Yeah, it's true.
We're gonna roll with it.
Speaking of class, Mr. Caleb Knight, the class handicapper among us.
I saw in Brian's video from the handicapping four-way that we had. Yes, that's what I called it. He said not classy enough, and class doesn't matter. I heard it. I'm going to clip it, and I'm going to make it my ringtone.
Yeah, but Josh also said that he thought some speed was too cheap. So, I mean, a lot of odd things were said in that foursome.
That it was true. It was shipping for Mountaineer, and we all know how Mountaineer shippers do around here, Mark.
Do we know how
we do?
Do we know how they do?
If you watch the video,
before
if you watch the video, I think you'd have plenty of comments from people just telling them exactly how it does. So, oh man, PDT's got the opposite Mark trip. His wife's going on a trip. He's solo with 2 kids. Over under 14 hours of iPad and TV time for my kids over the 2 days. Yeah, he's gonna be tossing whatever he can. Like, you load up on the Dino Nuggets, load up on what, Brian, you're the only one among us who has kids. What else do you distract a child with besides Dino Nuggets?
The fact you threw Dino Nuggets out first tells me you have those in your freezer.
I mean, I'm not going to say I don't, but
no judgment, bro. I'm not going to, so they got, how they make the little breadsticks with a little cheese sauce. They
Oh,
make those.
yeah.
They make those in Oreos. Okay, you dip the little Oreo cookie into the little thing of white sauce, like the inside of the Oreo.
Like
Kids,
Dunkaroos?
dippers, right?
it's like the handy snack, but it's an Oreo. Just look at that. That's why I get this body, buddy.
Yeah, that's true. Eating all the kids' snacks. That's the way you get there.
You wash that down with a handful of gummy bears. Next thing you know, you're 3 handfuls deep in that 5-pound bag of gummy bears. What happens? I don't know.
Dude, so I went to Costco, or I actually ordered online from Costco, and I got a like a thing like this big of peanut M&M or peanut butter M&Ms, right? And I looked, it's like 54 servings of peanut butter M&Ms.
That's 2 servings.
Dude, I bought this like maybe like a month ago, and I was like, yeah, this will probably last like till well after well after Halloween. Yeah, dude, I'm on like the last level. Like there's just like one peanut M&M like each on the bottom floor, and I'm like, that's a lot of servings of peanut butter M&Ms that I ate. Nick Feldman, they're commenting on the Weller I poured. He said it used to be a white label.
CYPB, it's the white label now.
Well, now it is, but I think so. Like the old Weller labels used to look way different. People like love to post pictures of like the dusty old Weller there.
You could actually buy Weller.
Road Warrior said third, unlike Double Pour, who was fourth, and I needed for third at 57.01. That's a shame. Just a shame.
Or we can talk about my 4 needing to go by on the stretch in the freaking last turf race at Keeneland, and just
So what? Like, I swear, every single turf race at Keeneland this week or today, my horse just looked absolutely loaded at the top of the stretch and just flattened out every single time, and the speed held and like opened up. So, Brian, what do you got? Oh, please, no cheap speed. Well, cheap speed definitely held. So I don't know. Was it just me? Was it just me, or did speed just hold completely there?
Speed has been really good on the turf all meet, and they got a lot of rain, so it was really deep. And contrary to popular belief, normally really wet, heavy turf courses are very speed favoring because it's hard for horses to be able to accelerate and get that turn of foot to be able to then pass. So I saw that one getting kind of about a length ahead of the top of the stretch, and I was like, oh, this horse just isn't going to get caught. And that's exactly what happened.
Anybody want to talk about the Chad, fake that ran today, Caleb?
It was like a maiden or something, right? So it doesn't feel good to brag about, picking a fake Chad maiden. And he still almost won, but that's what they do.
He should have won.
Well, could have, should have, would have.
That's a horse that's going to probably take a while to break its maiden because that horse has got a lot of hang.
I think the bad beat of the day might have been Ricardo Santana going 0 for 69 and they finished that card. He should have won that last race.
He probably should have had 2 or 3 wins today. That 7 horse in the first race too. I mean, when the one scratched, or the second race when the one scratched out, and then he was low in speed walking the dog up there.
The thing is, though, he's hitting the board. Like, he's just not winning. He's getting seconds and thirds. I mean, not how he normally does, but he's gotten 6 seconds and 4 thirds or something like that. Like, he's just not getting them to the winner's circle.
It's funny that we should probably have this conversation because, on the stream, I'm normally a big fan of Corey. I hype him up often. What a ride on turf today. Did you see that? He's now for 1 for 117 on turf. What a ride.
Yeah, and it had to be the one time it hurts me, right? That one time.
I'll make sure. I'll tell Bree to make sure Sean tells people get that comment there, Brian.
It was a good ride. I was surprised it was a good ride.
I got Lanried on turf. I mean,
the only place that happens is Kentucky. It's the only place you can get Lanried.
Look at the bright side. It's going to be the Gulfstream Championship meet. He'll probably go 0 for whatever, so you'll be fine. You'll get it back, Mark.
Oh, baby.
Championship 183 or something?
Championship meet with the Tapeta? Oh, man, dude. Caleb is going to hate this winter. Caleb might not place a wager all winter. But I've met his father, and I know the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, so I know that's a lie. But
I'll have my 5-horse field at Santa Anita, I guess.
Golf's kind of fun in the middle of February when you've got nothing else to do.
Hey, speaking of middle of February, how's that Pegasus betting challenge going this year? Man. Oh. My bad.
On the plus side, on the plus side, the NHC is going to have some better races, I guess, because they're going to have the Pegasus card, which the Pegasus itself isn't usually good, but some of the other races on that card are usually pretty decent.
I hear the Pegasus Turf can be a hell of a race.
On the downside, apparently nobody owns a calendar down in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, there's 52 weekends a year. They couldn't have found turf that like led into a Zulu Alpha joke, and no one went there. No one, Josh.
I mean, I could have played the video again, but we did that bit 2 weeks ago. The only bit that we continue is just ragging on you. So,
okay.
In all fairness, though, can you picture the New York jockeys on Tepeta? Just picture that for a minute. That might be really, really awkward.
I don't know if the Ortiz brothers. I don't know if the Ortiz brothers were riding when Tepeta was like invented. So
it's going to be interesting. The strategy. Can you herd on Tepeta, or is it not as easy?
Well, you can herd on anything. I mean, come on now,
dude. I've heard Irad herds on the freaking expressway, so I think he'll find a way. But yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of predictions here. We did this. We did this last year. I believe I won, and I never got a prize. So once again, we're going to do this. Between the four of us, we got 15 questions, and we're going to see who does the best here after the Breeders' Cup. We didn't mention this beforehand, but what the winner gets a bottle on the other three. We'll say what, $75, so like 25 each. So nice bottle of scotch, nice bottle of bourbon, maybe a couple bottles of contradiction for Caleb. Like I think
no, it's Smoke Wagon. He prefers
Smoke Wagon, uncut, unfiltered.
God, I haven't heard Smoke Wagon in a while.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man, the straight bourbon's fine. It's good.
It's not fine, but it's just not the second coming of Pappy.
Yeah. So we got 15 questions here. What I'm going to do as well, you guys can play along if you're watching. If you guys want to, we'll obviously, as usual, I'll highlight the chat. We'll talk about stuff. Go ahead and post whatever nonsense you want. But we're going to do a contest with the viewers as well. I think we did this last year too, because I remember Parsons wanted Papo to get an On the Wrong Lead shirt, so I think he entered on behalf of Papo. But yeah, I'll open this up. You can send me an email, send me a DM on Twitter. These are yes, no, or over under questions, or like horse or the field. So they're binary. There's only two answers, and whoever gets the best score, I'll send you guys out some swag. So probably like a T-shirt and like a coffee mug or something. And I talked to Bree. Bree said she's gonna send at least a Stable Duel T-shirt. So I thought she said the Degenerate T-shirt, but obviously it probably depends on what she's got and what size. So yeah, we'll do a contest, and like I said, I'll mention it again at the end. Entries will need to be into us by, we'll say, end of day next Thursday. So you got a week to do it, and I'll post on Twitter and stuff too, and we'll see if we can get some good numbers. I think last year we had like 6 or 7 entries. I forgot if that's the one that JT Massey won, because I know I sent him some stuff. But I don't remember.
I have a feeling
maybe it was PDT. Maybe it was PDT who won it. Yeah, maybe that's the one. Maybe he won this.
I have a feeling the Sweet Sassy one did not win the Breeders' Cup Challenge.
That's true. You know what? He won like some like random harness race or something that we threw in, and I remember because Keep Pounding jumped in, and Keep Pounding finished dead last. So let's get a nice little shout out there to Mr. Keep Pounding here. But yeah, so we got 15 questions. We're gonna kind of go through them a little fast. I got 2 for Juvenile Day, and then I got 1 for each of the BC races on Saturday, and then I got a couple weekend bets. And the weekend ones are strictly BC races. So if like one of them is Baffert wins over under 1.5, I don't care if he wins a maiden race on Friday or something before. They got to be BC races. So let's start it off.
By BC, do you mean the best cheater?
Oh, well, then he'd be way over.
That's how I read the question. I might have screwed up.
So let's start with the BC Juvenile fillies. The question we got here is Echo Zulu over under 1.1 lengths win. So is she going to win by a length or less, or win by more than a length? And obviously, if she loses, she did not win by over a length there. But I got our answers over here. It seems like we're pretty much in agree, or it's 3v1. So we got 3 unders. Caleb, Mark, and Brian. You guys all went under. Caleb, what's your thinking here? Is this gamesmanship, or is this what you really think?
No, it's what I really think. And I think with Echo Zulu, like, she's looked, outstanding in her few starts this year. So nothing to really knock about her as far as that goes. But I think that I think there's a lot of nice horses in this field. I mean, she's certainly the likeliest winner, but I think that there's probably 2 other horses that I was very interested in as well in that race. It was I got Saturday up. Hold on. It was Juju's Map was one of them I remember, and then who was the other one?
A Hidden Connection.
Yeah, Nick's already touting Juju's Map, so
yeah,
he's gonna go with less.
Yeah, and then there's a couple of horses. I thought Tarabi looked interesting. Hidden Connection that Mark mentioned, I thought was a player in here. So what bothers me most about Zulu or Echo Zulu? Oh my God, I almost said Zulu Alpha.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not significant, but she did go backwards a little bit in the Frisette. Was she geared down? I mean, yeah, maybe. I'm not going to overanalyze it, but she went backwards a little bit, and I want horses to be moving consistently forward heading into the Breeders' Cup as 2-year-olds. So I wonder if she maybe just peaked a little early. She's still probably your winner here, but there's enough horses in here that I think could be legitimate that a length margin of victory, I think somebody can get within.
Yeah,
Brian, go ahead, Mark.
I have the same exact take that Caleb does here, and it's just I think this is a really good field. I think there's a lot of interesting players. If you look at Hidden Connection, look at Echo Zulu. Effectively, her first all 3 of her races have been the same race. She's won basically the same exact speed figure. Now, I mean, was she challenged? Did she kind of have it all her own way? Maybe she's just a lot better than these. But when you have these races where a lot of these fillies are really pretty untested. I want to spread around here and try to invent a price. I think the one I'm most interested in is Hidden Connection, who won the Pocahontas in an absolute laugher by 9 1/4, and was pretty much geared down late. And I think she's super interesting. I could even see somebody like Nest, who's the Pletcher trainer. These are 2-year-olds. Late in the season, a lot of times they take big jumps up. Wouldn't be surprised if somebody comes up here and has a really impressive performance. I think there's a lot of ways you can go in here, and Echo Zulu is your most likely winner, but I think at least it's an interesting race.
Brian, you got anything to add?
The Frisette was a bullshit race. There is no competition. Do not use that in your analysis. That is all. Carry on.
So I was the only one who went over, and I just thought Echo Zulu just looked really impressive. I was a little concerned about the speed figure not coming back super great last time, but I don't know. I think she wins pretty easy here. I mean, she should be faster than these horses, but yeah, I mean, Friday I think is going to be the day that we see more prices, but I think Echo Zulu will probably be the horse in the sequence that I press on the most. Once again, I'm looking at this real early, and we're making all kinds of wild assumptions. But I think in the next race, I'm going to go a little bit elsewhere. So,
you know who's going to ride Echo Zulu?
Who?
You can just figure it out.
Is it Ricardo Santana Jr.? So he's going to break the streak. He's going to break the streak with Echo Zulu. Got it. He
might break it at Mountaineer if he has to fill his book out.
He's due.
He's due. Let's see. Who do we got here? Nick's is ice cold Ricardo. Yeah. PDT saying Colonial Maiden winner Raylu fits on the PPs. Who's he talking about?
Aurelio Gutierrez. That would be Hidden
Connection.
What's Hidden Connection?
Yeah, Hidden Connection. Was something else that I kind of wondered nobody's brought up. Asmussen Barn right now is about as cold as they come. I think he's 4% on the Keeneland meet. He's like 2 for 60 or whatever that comes out to be. Anybody make any thing that maybe you fade Echo Zulu just on the Asmussen barn being cold.
I think you should fade the Asmussen barn at Del Mar. That's one of his lowest performing tracks in North America, and that says a lot. We've had this conversation before when and we probably will later when we get to the turf races. Euro shippers in California are usually okay, but Asmussen is not. So that has to go into handicapping. You can't ignore the historical fact. And I know history is history, but that's all horse players do is they go off of past running lines and hope for the best. So I'd toss them, especially at what, 3 to 5, 4 to 5?
3 to 5, 4 to 5. I would say Todd Pletcher is also somebody else that doesn't ship well to Del Mar specifically historically. So there's a few trainers that do have that problem.
So Brian, just making my point once again that I posted the other day that for Steve Asmussen's sake and all the rest of us to have the next Breeders' Cup at Sam Houston. Got it.
Yes.
I know they won't have it, and that's on the north side of Chicago.
North side of Chicago? What are you talking about? They're going to build a nice brand new track in Waukegan, I bet now. Yeah. Let's move on to the Juvenile here. Once again, we're doing we had talked about this, when we were doing this segment, and I was like, oh, we'll call it photo finish, and we can, see if I can talk to some announcer to just say photo and do it and get a little video. But I ran out of time. But yeah, so we got Jack Christopher the field here. I'm looking at this, and Brian, you zagged while all of us zigged. You took Jack Christopher. Surprisingly, I thought I was going to be different by taking the field because I know you guys love you some Chad Brown low price favorites. But Brian, tell me all the ways you love Chad Brown.
It's not so much that I love Chad Brown, and it's probably a horrible pick given that Corniche is going to be ready. But it's one of those things where you go through this field or who's possibly entered. There's a lot of horses who have ran 4 or 5 times. So that, to me, for 2-year-olds right now, I don't like that. I like to look for the lightly raced 2-year-olds. So right away, I looked at Jasper the Great, Jack Christopher, Giant Game, Corniche, and then Command Performance. Other than that, I was kind of like, man, these horses have all been out 4 and 5 times. So I handicapped it quickly as like a 4-horse race, and I probably screwed that up, but I hate the heavily raced horses here going a mile and a 16th in November as 2-year-olds. So I think one of the horses that are unchallenged or, not tired wins. Jack Christopher, the figures are great. He, in the Champagne last out, blistering fractions up front and was able to hold on and win. I don't think 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. According to time form, he could be out there all by himself. So why not? I zigged.
The only reason I don't like Jack Christopher in this spot is he's passed 1 horse in his entire career. I know it's only 2 races, but these 2-year-old stakes, I like to see horses that have passed. I'm a little bit more interested in a horse like Double Thunder or the horse that won that race, even Rattle and Roll. Especially with all the Baffert speed entered in here. Of course, there's a really good chance that the Baffert horse just gets out on the lead and just, grinds away and, puts all the other 13 horses away somehow. But, yeah, I don't know. I thought Jack Christopher looked a little vulnerable in this spot. Caleb, what are you thinking?
Jack Christopher is a sprinter. That's my opinion. I don't think he can get the distance. I don't care that he got a mile at Belmont. Sprinters can get a mile at Belmont. We've seen that time and time again with Jackie's Warrior last year. We've seen sprinters win the Met Mile. It's not a good measuring stick for routers. This horse has a pure sprint pedigree. I don't think he wants to go this far, and that's really my main reason being against him. If you're going to give me the field, then I'm going to take the field for a horse that I think has some distance issues.
Yeah, exact same reason as Caleb. He's a Munnings. He was starting to remember at the end of that mile at Belmont that he was a Munnings, and they were flying at him late. Extra 16th should really make him remember he's a Munnings. And I think somebody like Jasper Great, Jasper Crone, both of those horses have very interesting pedigrees that are going to be able to get this distance. And you got to remember, a mile at Belmont is a 1-turn mile, and that plays much more like a 7 furlong race. And this is a 2-turn mile and a 16th. speed. So yeah, apples and oranges as far as races are concerned. I just don't think he gets the distance.
Hey, is this the worst pedigreed Baffert entries in a Breeders' Cup Juvenile in a long time? I mean, both of these entries here are not barn burners with their pedigree, and it sticks out to me because I was like, okay, you have an Into Mischief, but the dam side's garbage, and then you have a quality road, so it's like, I expected, I wonder if
How about Pinehurst?
You got to remember. Wait, what's the big thing you got to remember though?
I forgot about Pinehurst down there. Yep.
But what's the big thing you got to remember is that these horses cannot earn Kentucky Derby points yet. We'll see. We'll see what happens, right? So, I mean, I don't know if that's going to matter, but yeah, I mean, Pinehurst is Twirling Canyon, Giants Causeway, so we'll look forward to.
Say though, but Barossa, that's a pretty damn good pedigree. I mean, Into Mischief on the top end with Flower Alley on the bottom. Talk about a horse that should be able to run all day.
Yes, I'm just saying for a pure ratings, if you look at time form, they're not that impressed by that one, which is interesting. But for the distance, agreed.
So Authentic wins a classic, and all of a sudden, Into Mischief can run all day, huh?
I'm not ready to talk about it.
And then I was just kind of laughing because we're talking about these the just like this bad pedigree Baffert, and Protonico. That's really that's really the best pedigree out there. Might as well be California Chrome. But all right, let's take a look at chat here. Nick Feldman saying he thinks Command Performance is giving him some good Magic vibes.
I like it, Nick. I like that horse in this race. I mean,
someone else had mentioned that too.
He's run some good races. He's super green. I think he's going to be good down the road. I don't know if this is the spot, but I think he's a nice horse.
I think he's a turf horse. And then, Stephen Fox reminding us that Baffert does well in California. Thank you, Stephen. Let's move on. So that's it for Friday. We're going to move on to Saturday, and I'm talking very slowly so Mark can get his PPs up for Saturday.
I'm good. Where are we going?
Hey, you told me to talk slow so you can get your PPs up. So I was just helping you out there.
A little slow sometimes,
Yeah. PDT's bringing some late info to the last race. Barossa's got a nice TG last out, 5.75, better than Corniche. And Nick Feldman saying this race notorious for favorite to have horrible trip or not break. Shout out to Dennis's moment.
Don't say it.
Shout out to Dennis's moment. I took a nice picture of him, sent it to you
soon.
and Evil Bob Dole, and he just, he looked good.
Ran up the track like it was his job.
But
I just have a question.
Eating the hail and Uber, and
Dennis's moment won that race at Keeneland, though. Not the BC, but he won at Keeneland when I took the picture of him.
He did.
Well, that was a 15,000 claimer, wasn't it?
I don't even remember.
I mean, with the right pre-workout regimen, Mark could win a 15,000 claimer in Kentucky.
I mean, who's to say he hasn't? Yeah, who's to say he hasn't? Oh, that's the wrong race. Breeders' Cup, Filly Mare Sprints. All right, this is a pretty simple one. Gamine or the field. And Mark is a believer. Mark has got the silver wig on. He just wants that hair. He wants those Harry Potter sunglasses. He is just ready to go. He loves the Baffert. He loves Gamine. Mark, talk to me. Why do you love Gamine like you do here?
I don't know if I necessarily love Gamine, but she's the best horse in the race. It's Bob Baffert in his home state. She's 4 for 4 at the distance, 9 to 10 lifetime. Just the kind of horse that it's sometimes a chalk that you eat in these kind of races. And I think she's the one Baffert winner. Well, I don't want to spoil too much for later, but I think she's probably your one Baffert winner on the weekend, or at least of the Breeders' Cup races.
I'm gonna be so mad when Baffert wins 3 races this weekend. And then we're all gonna be sitting here like, oh, we didn't bet Bob Baffert in California. Like we have a streaming show. We were very smart. All right, so Brian, what's your main reason for picking the field here?
Well, a lot of it was gamesmanship. I mean, Gamine could just go and be gone, but I think Bella Sophia and Edgeway are both coming in good form right now. especially with Edgeway being a California horse. I'm curious to see how Sadler has that horse ready to go. So, it's one of those things where earlier you guys said, you went against the favorite just for the sake of doing it. I think Bella Sophia and Edgeway are coming in such good form that why not? Let's take a shot, be different. I thought you'd all be on Gamine because Mark loves chalk.
No, Nick Feldman bringing up a good point, and kind of where I went with it, right? He said on Briz, Bella Sophia last out numbers 111, Gamine's 105. How can I not try to beat Gamine here?
Yeah,
time form looks really good too. Time form looks like Bella Sophia is improving. Gamine's kind of flattening out. That at a certain point, right, a horse reaches his peak and bounces back a little bit. But I'll take a shot with the improving horse. I really like Bella Sophia in this spot. Gamine's won her last 2 races, but they haven't been like super impressive at the eye test. I haven't taken a look really at the PPs. I don't know how the figs look on time form, so I don't know. I thought that Gamine and Bella Sophia's last race was basically dead even. But Mark, you were going to interrupt me. What's up?
No, I stopped myself from interrupting you. No, I don't really know how much Gamine's really been asked. I think they weren't as visually impressive as some of her 10 or 12 length wins, but has she really been asked? Has anybody really asked the question yet of her? With the exception of her Kentucky Oaks, where she was going too far. Besides that, she's just wins and does it easily. She knows where the wire is. She knows what she needs to get done. Occasionally she wins by 10, but I don't really think she's really been tested.
Remember the last time people asked if a horse has really been tested? Would it look too slow on paper?
Princess Nora?
Yeah, Princess Nora. Wasn't that also a Baffert horse?
It was also
I'm certainly not correlating Princess Nora and Gamine. They're not even in the same zip code. But, I'm just never a fan of the horse could run faster if she tried kind of angle, or he tried. I think they're going to run within a point or two of what they're going to run. I went against Gamine only because you gave me the field. I think people are going to look at this race like Bella Sophia or Gamine. And Bella Sophia is obviously the most likely horse to upset the apple cart here. But, Gamine is still more likely to win than Bella Sophia. But, I could see a world where they hook up on the front and maybe a horse like CC or Edgeway or even Estillo Talentoso could run them down maybe. If you're going to give me all those horses on a Gamine that doesn't seem to be as fast at 4 as she was at 3, I'll take my chances. I get it. Gamine's the likeliest winner in this race for sure. But, she's going to be 1-5, and I don't think she wins this race 80% of the time.
You think she's that short? Really, if she's 1-5, that means you're going to get what, 3-1 on Bella Sophia? You really think she's going to be that short? I think you're crazy.
What do you think she goes off at?
Even money.
Even money, even money, 6-5. One of those two. Yeah.
If she's above even,
every smartass in the world is going to try to beat her.
Listen, so it's
no way does she go above even money.
I think add a question.
Just too good.
I think she will be about even money because I think those looking for a price are going to see the price on Bella Sophia and CC and Edgeway, and they're going to take it because the price is going to be fair. And I think when they come around that turn, I think it means about even money.
Agreed.
That could have been the argument for every one of her other races as well, and she's been 1-9 in half of those.
But
against most of this field,
right.
Bella Sophia is really the only new shooter.
Yeah, but she's never been versus this whole field together. This is definitely the classiest entire field she's been against.
But with this, well, not really. Kentucky Oaks was definitely the classiest race, but I think it means numbers and the pace that you're going to see. Caleb, you hit it spot on. This, Blue Fractions is a 4-year-old all the way through now. And you look at Bella Sophia and Edgeway have ran faster. I think people are going to see that, and pace makes a race, and Gamine may not fit here if it isn't a perfect trip. I would have a hard time seeing this horse going off at 3-5.
Well, overseas right now she's at -150, so that's between 3-5 and 4-5, so closer to 3-5. So,
are they just taking money now because it's Baffert in California?
They're taking money because she's going to be 3-5. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I don't see this horse going off at anything over 4-5.
Okay.
I think 4-5 is the absolute highest I see the horse going off at.
Hold on, Caleb, you get 3-5. I get the field.
I don't want her at 3-5. Why would I want that bet?
No, I'm saying it's just a friendly wager between the two horses on the price of the horse.
Oh.
Not picking the horse. You're saying 3-5. I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
Look, I just want to go back and mention that Caleb mentioned Estelio Talentoso after, and I'm sure we have one of our On the Wrong Lead historians, after he bashed me for taking Estelio Talentoso in a much lighter field. So the fact that that horse came out of his mouth and all of a sudden he looks so smart. But when I say it's like, you're so dumb, Josh, what the hell is going on?
It's not about looking smart and looking dumb with you and Caleb. It's about just looking good. And I'm sorry, Josh. I love you, Josh, but I've got bad news, brother. Bad news.
Oh, man. Jimmy Two Eyes saying he thinks the juice will be loose, so he's on Gamine. Nick Feldman saying Rosario's confirmed on Edgeway. And there's also the point last time she faced a true horse that could run. She sat just off in last year's BC race by 6. Maybe pressing her is best would be something to see.
I think that's the trip she gets. I think she probably let's see what the draw is, but I think she probably does sit second off Bella Sophia and can press, and I think that's the exact trip she gets. I agree with you. I think she could arguably be better stalking off from a hot pace and then pouncing.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. So you have Bella Sophia on the lead and Gamine right behind her. If you have Joelle on Edgeway and then in the next flight, you've got to wonder what happens there, right? I know
the next flight.
Well, it's
Joelle's going to be 7 behind.
Joelle could be anything from 5 in the lead to 10 behind. I mean, that's just
right.
Throw it down.
But Johnny V is going to have the mount on Gamine historically, so we're going to say, okay, Johnny V's got that mount. Bella Sophia is Luis Saez. I mean, that could be a hell of a showdown depending on what the post position draw is, especially with Rosario on Edgeway. It may force the hand of Johnny V a little bit sooner than he wants to go.
That could be
all
true.
I know
that I can agree with. Yeah.
Rosario rated Latruska this year.
And you bet.
I mean, that's really all. Yeah, I was all over Latruska that race too. Yeah,
only loss of the entire.
Yeah, I was all over Latruska.
Yeah.
I was on Latruska before it was cool. But goodness. So this next one's shout out to Stephen Fox, who adjusted this one a little bit. He thought that this was a better question than the question I was asking. My original question was Wesley Ward or the field in this race, but Stephen Fox thought it'd be more fun to do. Does Golden Pal place? Yes or no? And Mark. I mean, of course, Wesley Ward and turf sprinters. I mean, Mark, how can you not be romantic about baseball? You're just love any Ward turf sprinter. Who's the other Golden Pal? Wait, who's the other horse that you really love? Who's the other Ward horse? Races once a year.
Bound for Nowhere.
Bound for Nowhere. Yeah. And then Kamari. You're a big Kamari fan, and I don't know who else. I was going to start naming.
I'm not a big Kamari fan.
Oh, you are now.
I've faded Kamari a lot.
No, I mean, if you like Golden Pal, you like Kamari. All right, so Mark, talk to me about Golden Pal here. Why do you think Golden Pal places?
I don't know.
He's honestly, so confused now. We got him.
I'm very confused because I didn't think that's what I chose, but apparently it is what I chose. No, I mean, Golden Pal is. Christ, I can't believe. Did I actually really choose that? I actually said Golden Pal was going to place.
Yeah, you said Golden Pal was going to place. You don't like Golden Pal? Do you want to change it to no?
Yeah, I do want to change it to no, I think.
All right, I'll change it to no for you. So we're all in agreement then.
Yeah.
Golden Pal doesn't place. Chat. Anybody out there think Golden Pal is going to place? Mark, tell me why you hate Golden Pal.
I think Mark just succumbed to peer pressure and he was a yes, but he's afraid to lose on this leg.
No, I mean, I think there's too many good horses in here. I think Lieutenant Dan across the surface that we know he handles. I think you have somebody, I don't know if he's fast enough, but he's hella talented. Somebody at Glass Slippers who won last year. I think Glass Slippers is an absolutely freakish talent. I think there's a lot of horses that are in this race who are, interesting players. And I think it's a race that I feel like I want to be like 6, 7 deep in. I'm going to be pretty deep in this race in every horizontal I have. So how can I kind of pick one horse to place? I think that that's a little too hard. I think there's too much talent in this field. And yeah, I mean, Golden Pal, is Golden Pal very talented? Yeah, he's very talented, but Fig Fit came back pretty soft off that last race. And yeah, I think there are other sort of more interesting places to go.
So a couple things. I'm going to look at chat here. Nick saying that this is going to be really hard to answer until the post draw.
Yeah, very valid. Yeah. Very valid.
Jimmy 2i saying Golden Pal is a stud. Wesley says this is his best horse ever, and he has been on record saying that. But I think he's been on record saying that for a couple of horses. So
yeah, Wes says that about every horse that wins a stakes race. That's just Wesley being Wes. That's how he is.
You know, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Road Warrior asking if Costa Creed's going to be in here.
I bet Costa goes mile.
His first preference was mile, which is disappointing because I like him better in the sprint. But his first preference was the mile.
I think he's got no shot in hell in the mile, so I hope they go here. But I would imagine they go mile.
I mean, isn't 5 way too sharp for him, though?
I mean, I would think 6 is better, but I think a mile against that field he has no chance. Not that I think that's a particularly strong field, but his mile form just hasn't been as good.
I know that Mark is really, really going to be all over Beer Can Man in this spot. So
this is a great race.
It is. It's a really good race.
This is an excellent
such a good race.
Because I do not like. I mean, none of us like Golden Pal. His figs are soft. He's beaten nothing.
Yeah.
There's. We all don't like Golden Pal, but I would guarantee you that if we pick 3 horses each, we'd probably have 10 different horses between the 4 of us. Like, it's it's a lot of ways you can go here.
You guys know I only need 1 horse in this race.
Fast boat.
Yep, fast boat, baby. Fast boat. That's all I need in here.
I do like fast boat in here.
How does Fast Boat win this, though? I mean, I like Fast Boat, but I mean, do you think this really melts at Del
Fast
Mar?
Boat wins this with me walking out with a pile of cash from the OTB. That's how Fast Boat wins this.
I think Fast Boat needs a whip, and you're in California.
I think Fast Boat needs a fast boat, but
is that like an Uber? A Fast Boat's going to need an Uber.
Needs like a fast John Deere or something.
No. Although it's interesting, you guys saw the morning line. Glass Slippers won this race last year and is like 15-1 on the morning line or something nuts. I mean,
Glass Slipper really has not had a great. Sorry to cut you off, Josh. Grass Slipper has not had a great campaign this year.
Sorry to cut you off. You cut everybody off. Now you decide to apologize.
Hey. But no, I mean, I think Glass Slippers has not really had a great campaign. A bit of the hangs. A Case of You is actually what was the morning line on A Case of You? Because A Case of You beat Glass Slippers last out. And I think of the Euros, A Case of You may be the one you want over Glass Slippers, even though I do like Glass Slippers.
I just want to know why we're on this race for 5 minutes and Mark hasn't shut up yet. Nobody else has an opinion. Mark is talking about
fast boat.
There's 7 horses here, and I'm sitting here waiting to talk about A Case of You, and then here comes Mark, and my echo choice that will cost me my pick 5 is Case of You.
So, Brian, you like A Case of You?
Oh, I'd like A Case of You, big boy, but that's way different.
Oh, there we go.
I want you to highlight what Jay just said in chat, Josh, because it just happened.
Yeah, thank you guys ahead of time for putting Golden Pal in the winner's circle once again.
It probably
God bless it. You know what? We probably were good until Mark at the last minute decided to change his mind and change his opinion.
Let me ask you a question, Mark. Let me ask you a question. Will you use Golden Pal defensively in horizontals?
Oh, Christ. I'm going to.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So you just talked about why this race is so hard. Hold on. No. You just talked about why this race is so hard for Golden Pal to win and not going to place, but you're going to waste the pick 5 or pick 6 with Golden Pal on your ticket. If you just made the argument you just made, you should leave Golden Pal off, because what price does Golden Pal go off with all the hype of Wesley Ward? 2-1?
2-1.
He's going to be on how many tickets for the horizontal?
All of them.
If you beat him here, you stand to double your money.
Okay, Josh, change my opinion back. Put Golden Pal in the place. I'll go back. I'll go back so that we can save everybody.
No, and Mark, I'm not trying.
Guys, this is the best part of the show right now. Josh is trying to open a bottle of bourbon.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe I've literally never had a problem opening a bottle of Buffalo Trace ever, because it's super easy.
Really?
Super easy for
Buffalo Trace.
Huh? Yeah, I'm
the Buffalo Trace.
No, I'm struggling.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Josh has his fingers out. He's twisting ever so gently. He tries to pick the tin away.
I'm literally just trying to get the foil off. Like, this is unreal. There we go.
Nothing will ever top when you try to open that bottle of Macallan, though.
Of Macallan? Dude, how long were we on? That was like 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
God,
Hey.
dude.
Caesar called you out, Mark, and I'm not trying to be that guy, but you just made great reasons of why you don't play Golden Pal there. So that's why I wanted to point it out, because I know you're going to use it defensively.
He's right.
But
right.
Yeah, we're going to scare money, don't make money.
I do often have the mentality of I'd rather be alive than to necessarily be profitable, and I do take that mentality, because especially in something like the Breeders' Cup, I'm thinking there are other spots that, if I use Golden Pal, I can make prices in other ways in a pick 5 type sequence. But you're right. It's a horse that I probably should just toss.
It's just one of those things. I think the draw will depend, and who decides to not actually race will change this a lot. But it's fun to talk about, and it's fun to poke on you a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. So let's check out chat here on this one. Nick saying Ward bringing back Kamari off the layoff in this race, and Rosario's the mount. He'll dabble. Yeah, I mean Kamari's run well at 5 furlongs, so
Kamari would be on zero of my tickets. 0.
All right, we have this on recorded, so when we see Kamari as a B, all right, we got this.
I would take Kamari over Golden Pal, I think.
Nick Feldman saying Gear Jockey coming in off of Kentucky Downs track record. I hope Loscano's coming over to ride. I would never hope Loscano is coming over to ride anybody. But, it's funny. Nick Feldman talking about Gear Jockey. That was Jay. If you guys haven't listened to the podcast I did with Jay Davis, probably like 3-4 weeks ago now, and he's in chat here. Gear Jockey was his key in that entire sequence at Kentucky Downs when we were on track. So I know Jay's a big Gear Jockey fan there. So
hey, who do you think Pratt jumps aboard here? Because he's been on Beer Can Man, he's been on Bombard. I mean, he's got the most options in this race, and it could really depend. Charmaine's Mia. I mean, Commander.
I think he ends up on Charmaine's Mia. I don't think Bombard draws in, and I don't think he'd go back to Beer Can Man. I think someone else gets that mount probably.
See, I was wondering about maybe Commander for Miller. Both of those make sense. Although Rispoli's also been on Commander before too, so that could be very interesting. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off topic there. I just started looking.
all right, let's keep going. Oh man, where was I? All right. BC Dirt Mile. Life is Good or the Field. And Brian, you're the one who zigs here. You took the Field here. The rest of us took Life is Good. The rest of us are correct. Tell us why you think we are wrong.
Well, it's funny you should mention. There's lots of reasons, but no. I just wanted to say something on stream. Let me switch back over to see Caleb's face. 8 rings.
No.
No, it's one of those things where, Life is Good is a good horse and probably the most likely winner. But what did we talk about earlier? Anybody remember? This is Del Mar and this is Pletcher. So I got 8 horses going against Life is Good. Can Jasper Prince be the cheap speed that wears Life is Good down? Maybe. If that's the case, somebody like Ginobili, who's coming in on pretty decent form, he's been racing out west, maybe steals it if Jasper Prince or somebody else tries to run with Life is Good and can give me the pace I need. It's just one of those things, I really can't make an argument for too many horses here. Restrained Vengeance, probably too slow, but could the race fall to Restrained Vengeance if there's a pace battle? That's my angle here. See who gets on Jasper Prince, first North American star, if the horse comes. Or, raced at Keeneland last year, but has been in Japan. And if you haven't noticed, that's been, we'll talk about it later, but that's been kind of one of my things for this card. So, and give me 8 horses against Life is Good, and we'll see what happens.
You guys want to add anything to?
You're going with the Japan flag, and you didn't go with Pink Shag?
Well, no, because in 2 more races, I'm going to bring the Japan flag back.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I know what horse you like, which I also like there. Then, no, I mean, I quite honestly, I just think Life is Good. Caleb and I have both, I think, said this in other streams that we both think Life is Good is like a generational talent. I think he is an absolute freak show of a horse. And I mean, he is undefeated. If Mike Smith could have, I don't know. I think Mike Smith was using Braille at the top of the stretch to try to find the freaking winner circle or the finish line at Saratoga. That was one of the most atrociously bad rides I've ever seen in my life. And I think Life is Good is just a really extremely talented horse. And I just think he's just better than everybody else who's in here. And, he gets a Rad who I know can get around Del Mar. He's got a win across this track. And I just have a hard time going to anybody else in here because I just think he's just a lot faster than everybody else in here.
Yeah, I agree with Mark. I don't have anything creative to add here. I think Life is Good is much the best. The only horse I'm afraid of in here would probably be Ginobili, only because he showed talent as a 2-year-old. His 3-year-old season kind of stunk, and all of a sudden his last 2 races have been really good. Now nobody beats Life is Good on his day, but Life is Good has never passed a horse. If somehow Ginobili would get the lead, and maybe Life is Good can't pass horses. I mean, that's the only horse that I think could probably beat Life is Good, or rather get Life is Good beat. But I don't think it's very likely. I think Life is Good wins this race by 2, 3, 4 lengths.
I think actually Life is Good
No, is CZ Rocket going to be here? Because CZ Rocket's double entered, right?
He's going to the sprint.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I think actually Life is Good did actually pass Jackie's Warrior after he was passed, then repassed, and then Mike Smith forgot to go around forgot how to go around the left-hand corner and decide, let me float 30 wide into the stretch at Saratoga because that's the place to be because you're a absolutely horrible idiot jockey.
Jay Davis saying, he'll say it. Stiletto Boy runs.
I will say, though, last out, Life is Good looked really good beating those 2 horses at Belmont. So, I mean, I see where you guys are coming from.
3 horses at Belmont.
Like, the thing that you can say about Life is Good, right? I mean, he lost to Jackie's Warrior, who's the top sprinter in the country, and Following C came out after that race, finished 3rd in that race, and came out and just, obliterated the field. So, I mean, leaving a key race or had that key race, came out, won by 5. I think Life is Good is here. I mean, he kind of drew a bit of a soft field too, right? There's nobody else. Like maybe this would be a more interesting race if Nick Sko ran in this spot and they left EQ, Essential Quality, alone in the Classic. Maybe we'd have a little bit more of a conversation. But I mean, Life is Good is by far and away the best horse in this field.
No, I like what Jay said about Stiletto Boy, because that, the one time Life is Good lost this year was a super fast pace, and Stiletto Boy last out had that pace and looked pretty good. So, that could be an interesting little horse that probably will be a decent enough price.
Steven saying Silver State beat Nick Sko, but not considered here.
He deserves to be talked about. I think that's a good point. I think he's a really nice horse. My kind of gripe against him is I think he's tripped out in a lot of those races. But he's a nice horse. He needs some pace help for sure here. His last loss kind of bothers me. He was your winner at the 16th pole and then somehow just got outgamed by Mind Control.
Your favorite horse?
Yeah, I would take Mind Control over Silver State here. I think he's been a different horse since going back into the Fletcher barn here. But, I wouldn't talk anybody off Silver State at all if you don't want to use Life is Good. He always shows up with his run, and there is a few question marks in this field. So, yeah, I like that horse.
All right, let's keep going. Nick brought up a good point. He said this race has been won wire to wire the last 3 years. Feels much better with IRAD on Life is Good to make sure he gets home. So, all right. So I saw Mark was being really pedantic and brought up some good points here. So,
excuse me. Can you use blue collar words? What the hell does that mean?
Mark said rule not clear, needed clarification.
What's
see.
the rule?
So I put here the BC Filly Mare Turf Euro or NA, North America versus the world. All right. So Japanese horses will count as European. Someone had posted Japan in like big bold letters. I thought it was Mark.
That was me.
No, it was you.
Brian.
Me and Brian are going to be carrying the flag.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness. Okay, maybe. Okay. See, I just assumed it was Mark, and it wasn't Mark. Like man. Mark is just shaking his head. Poor guy.
This is where this came from. This is why I'm sporting the flag back here, because I wasn't sure how to go with it, and I wasn't sure what you were doing as far as Euro, Japan, etc. So.
Yeah, well, none of us took North America in this spot. Everyone took the world. So
Must be the World Cup.
yeah. So, but Brian, since you got the flag, what are you liking here?
You know, I like Love's Only You. First off, I really like the name. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Nothing. Damn. No, it's one of those things where when you start looking at the horses, they're going to, I don't want to say take money, but my sister Nat, that's a nice horse. But it's one of those things where I don't know anything about Love's Only You. I haven't gone through the whole thing. But the horse looked really good at shot 10 and then came back and did it again on firm. Horses, one on good, has one on firm. The distance is not a problem, and I'm more curious who's going to get the mount, I think. And that's something I need to see. But, considering there's, 9 horses here that are Euro or Japan, I tried to make you guys are going to hate me, but I tried to make an argument for dog tag. And I really wanted to, and I just can't. I don't even know why this horse is here. It's like, because I went through the North American horses. I'm like, who can I make an argument for? Going to Vegas? Okay, maybe I can make an argument for going to Vegas. Richard Baltus? Sure. I'm like, man, I want dog tag to do good because it'd be kind of neat just because the horse has no business in here and it'd be one of those $30 horses, which is a question later. But, I don't have anything smart to say. It's one of those races where there's so many question marks about the Europeans or the Japanese that I'm just going to take a shot and say, I don't like the American horses here.
I know that Dave's not watching right now because we haven't gotten any pings yet.
Yeah.
Because I know you here. Yeah, he's the biggest Warlike Goddess fan I've ever met. So, which probably is the best of the Americans in here, right? Warlike Goddess, hasn't done anything wrong this year. And, besides the very one to start off the year, but is rattled off 4 straight.
But you really want, Bill Mott without Lasix. That I know that's been all year, but it's Bill Mott. In California.
Warlike Goddess is a nice horse, but she's probably the only American I think that could hit the trifecta in this field.
I would
the
100% agree.
The Euros plus Love's Only You, who I also love with Brian. I think they kind of tower over this field. And I'm not even talking about like Tarnawa, who's obviously going to go to the turf. She's not going to run here. But even beyond that, I still think that the shippers, I don't know where Love runs. It probably depends on if any of the also eligibles in the turf for Aiden O'Brien get to draw into that race, in which case she might run here. I think she's a player here, not so much there. But there's a lot of, Adaria is another one who makes a ton of sense in here. I'd be surprised if more than one American horse hit the trifecta. And that only American horse being Warlike Goddess. But that being said, I'm with Brian. I love Love's Only You. That race 3 back in at Dubai is probably the single best piece of form in this race, not counting anything that Tarnawa's done. So, I like that horse a lot.
Lost to a dirt horse, though.
Mishrif?
Yeah, didn't Mishrif win some big dirt race?
He won the Saudi Cup.
Yes, he won the Saudi Cup. See, lost to a dirt horse.
Caleb, since you talked about the form for the Euros, I'd be curious. Did you look at? I'm going to screw this name up. Rougier at all? I thought the last out was pretty good, and the horse seems to be improving the last 3 out. And I'm like, man, that horse could be really good in the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah,
I did, and I do like that horse. I wouldn't have the horse as number 1, so we'll touch on this next week probably a little bit more, but I'm treating any of the races from Arc Day, which is October 3rd at Longchamp, with a big grain of salt, because the track was an absolute swamp that day. So some horses just didn't take to it, some did. But even if you toss that race, her form is strong enough. She's only 3 years old here. She's relatively unexposed. I like Rogier here. I think she needs to take a big step forward to win, but I certainly think I would take her over probably any American not named Warlike Goddess, and she could make a run here. I liked her.
Mark, you got anything to add?
No, I mean, I was going to talk about Rogier because if you look at historically, opera winners come back and win this race like 40% of the time or something, some absurd statistic. Adara did that double last year. Obviously, Longchamp was an absolute bog. Caleb was tossing out all his swamp picks and doing very well that day. So it was a lot of fun. But I don't know if her winning was a factor of her really rounding into form or, of the going. But the thing is, if you look at her, she hasn't really caught firm going since the spring. And I think she's a lot better horse now than she was in the spring. So, maybe Rogier getting, firmer turf in California might not be bad for her, if you look at her form's continually been improving, and and she actually has. I don't think she has to win over firm, but she may just be a better horse now. But I think the 9-2 expected price is laughable. I would not bet her at 9-2. Now, maybe 8-1, 9-1 is I think more likely what you're going to get. Is she's super interesting at.
Yeah, I got nothing to add. I just messaged Caitlin Freed and I asked her for her opinion. So
solid.
Just kidding.
Is that?
What were you gonna say?
Nothing. I had a joke and I let it go.
All right, let's. Jay Davis is talking about Tarnawa, but Tarnawa is going to the turf, right?
Road Warrior.
Right?
Yeah, she is going to the turf. I'd be amazed if she ran here.
I want to know
She's a freak.
Who Road Warrior thinks going to win this race. How can he pick North America right here?
He's going to take My Sister Nat. He's going to pick My Sister Nat. Come on.
Is he? What's wrong with him? Really? He's going to take Nat in here? Are you?
It's a Chad Brown horse.
No,
dude.
he's going to take the other Chad Brown. I'll take Pocket Square.
Oh, okay.
I would take My Sister Nat
over My Sister Nat.
I would take My Sister Nat over Pocket Square. Are you kidding me?
I've never seen a horse that hates winning as much as My Sister Nat hates winning.
Yeah, well, it's all right, but if My Sister Nat finishes third, it's better than Pocket Square finishing like 11th or whatever she's going to finish in this race. Like, Pocket Square's been dodging everybody all year, hasn't she? Hasn't she just been going to soft spots over and over? At least My Sister Nat's like gone to some like okay races and won one. So, but I'm sure Road Warrior will chime in. He knows whenever we sully his name, he usually pops.
But we all know he's not going to bet it until it goes to Belmont.
You're talking about
that's true.
You're talking about soft horses ducking competition. Who's that horse going to Kentucky that weekend? Max Player.
Yeah.
Max Player or Max Field?
I mean, Max Field, right?
One of the Max horses.
I think it's Max Field. Yeah.
Well, what about all the horses dodging the Philly Mare Sprint for Gamine? What, Bell's the one, right? Bell's the one's not going.
No, Bell's the one. See, I think that's a little different. There was an article that DRF posted where the normal Tex Sutton, the normal company that ships horses around the country, apparently lost their primary airplane, and so they're using FedEx. And so there's a lot of trainers on the East Coast who don't like the idea of putting their horse into a shipping container effectively to ship them on FedEx. They're like an enclosed container. Whereas if you go into Tex Sutton, it's like walking into a barn. You walk up and you walk your horse into a stall. Whereas opposed to when FedEx ships a horse, it's in a cage. There's a lot of trainers who did not like the idea of shipping a horse in a cage where they can't have an attendant right there with a horse the whole flight. And a lot of people were sort of pushing back. And the reason Bell's the one didn't want to ship is they were very uncomfortable with that way of shipping her because they've never done it before, and they said, hey, we'll go win a stakes race locally instead of shipping out there with all of these sort of asterisks. Sorry for my rant.
Sorry, all I heard was dodging Gamine. Anyways, no, I read that too. Like I don't know. I don't know the first thing about owning a horse, so I'm sure that they would have much rather run, second or third to Gamine than go to Kentucky or stay in Kentucky or whatever they're doing. But Nick saying Pocket Square with Irad, different horse. So, man.
Does Irad land there?
I don't know, but which one of these Euros is going to get Mike Smith?
Yeah,
because
not.
for some reason the Europeans love to put Mike Smith on turf horses. Like, I don't know, the turf horse ships, and the first person they call is like, "Hi, Michael, are you available?"
For the record, if Mike Smith gets on Love's Only You, I will change my pick.
Yeah, I would too.
By the way, can we just talk about Love is in this race, and Josh and I will lose all of our money on Love because
probably
we do. Yeah,
are you used to that?
Yeah, we've done this a couple times now. Both of us really like Love, and yeah, but she scratched out of Arc Day. So actually, she scratched out of Arc Day to run because of the going, I think, but to run here. So
she's a player here. I think. I don't think she has a chance in the turf, but I hope she shows up here.
All right.
Well, I think she's going to land in the filly. I think they'll run her in the filly mare. They'll run Tarnawa in the turf.
Well, different connections, but yeah.
All right, BC Sprint, Jackie's Warrior or the field, and I changed my mind. All right, because I'm going to go and I'm going to say Following C wins this race, and turns the table over Jackie's Warrior.
I figured you'd take Flagstaff.
I mean, shit. Well, guess what? Good thing I get the field because I might get Flagstaff to clunk up and win this thing.
Shit, I did not realize Jasper Prince was double entered here too.
Yeah,
you got a lot going through this Japanese horse, Brian. I don't know.
and so for everybody else who's following along in chat, like I said, get us the entries by, like I said, Thursday night. So I don't want to be like waiting Friday morning for this stuff. Friday morning, I'll be putting together everything. So just get it to me, sometime Thursday night at the latest. So that way you guys can see entries, you can see jocks, you can see post position. And same thing for us, right? If you guys want to change your stuff, we can change it up until Thursday night. Scratches and that kind of stuff. Like, I'm just going to say that we're going to let the chips fall where they may. If a horse scratches, if it's the X, so like if Jackie's Warrior somehow scratches, we'll toss the question. But any horses that scratch from the field, I mean, you're just gonna have to deal with it. So, let's. I don't know. Everyone picked Jackie's Warrior here. I thought I'd be a little different. There's 2 horses in this race that I've been chasing. One finally came through in Following C, because Following C I had been chasing the last 3 races. Lost in the Haskell, lost to Jackie's Warrior. I really liked her there, and then finally, at a much lower price, but 2.5 to 1, I finally had Following C in the Bossberg. But the other horse I've been chasing for quite a bit. And Mark knows this horse very well, because Mark and I both, twice, 2 years in a row, we thought we were home. We thought we were there. And we weren't. Matera Sky.
By that much. 2
Both times,
years in a row. Both times. Got literally flared nostril.
And the worst part was
a dumb price every time. A dumb price twice.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say the race at Zenden won, but that wasn't the one that. Dude, by the way, you guys remember when Zenden fucking won a G1 this year? Jesus, what a year! But yeah, I don't know. Matera Sky was pretty interesting, but I think Following C, maybe Following C finally turns the table. I mean, Jackie's Warrior is probably the I don't know. Might even just be the most likely winner of the entire weekend. I don't know. Jackie's Warriors just look unbelievable.
I would disagree, but
I think it's interesting. Special Reserve actually fits really well, and if for some reason Jackie's Warrior either finds it in trouble or doesn't show up, I know the Maker Barn's been cold as hell, but on paper that horse seems to fit really, really well this week or for Breeders' Cup. Sorry, just talking.
Oh, you're good.
But Jackie's Warrior. Close the page. Mark
Jackie's Warrior is the most likely winner on the entire weekend, as far as I'm concerned. I don't
Right.
think this
Oh,
horse
go ahead.
will-
Overlife is good, Caleb. Overlife is good.
Yes,
I think so.
Really? Because I think Life is good in a softer race.
I think you're
Yeah,
going to
I
E to
disagree.
B.
I think Jackie's Warrior is. I
Really?
think Silver State, Ginobili. Yeah,
You don't think like a Matera Sky is a classier
Sky
horse?
is a scrub though. I mean, he has like a win forever ago at Japan, I guess, and then he ran second to Zenden, who died after that race. But like, what's he really done? I mean, recently.
Okay.
I mean, plus it feels like there's not really any speed in here. I mean, Following Sea has a little bit. Maybe Special
Reserve
has
can
some.
fly.
Yeah,
Jasper
but is Rosario
Prince
going
has
to
got a ton
send
of
this
speed.
horse, assuming Rosario ends up there?
Is Dr. Scheibel fast enough to be close enough?
No, Dr. Scheibel only went to the lead in the first place because he broke a rein and Pratt you decided that was his best course of action. He also caught a pretty strong rail bias that day at Santa Anita, and I think that's a very dressed up race. I don't want any part of Dr. Scheibel in that coming back.
I mean, isn't Jasper Prince just as fast as Jackie's Warrior?
I don't even know who Jasper Prince is.
Is Jasper Prince? Well, Jasper Prince is dual entered, Mark. Because Jasper Prince is also in the mile. So depending where, I don't know what's.
I mean, you have to think he runs here, but like, I sort of think he only got. I mean, if you're judging that off of a one race where he had the 13 post and a race that only had Yapan as the speed on paper, I don't think that's likely to repeat itself. I don't think he can hold a candle to Jackie's Warrior.
Well, not an official question. Can I ask a different question? Will Frenzy Fire bite Flagstaff? Yes or no?
God, I hope so.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm looking. Jasper Prince. What are the race?
The term is Savage.
Hey, Jasper Prince is also in the mile.
It doesn't tell me which one he prefers, or from what I can see.
I'm betting you they go. I bet you they go to the sprint.
He's got to be the sprint.
He's never
Look at his record. I mean, he's never ran a mile. You can't imagine that'd be his preference.
Yeah, that's another Japanese horse.
Jay Davis is saying, "Hey, Dr. Scheibel lost the rein and romped." So Nick Feldman likes Aloha West in the spot, especially if Jose Ortiz stays. This race is really one wire to wire, looking for a horse off a bit. And according to Brisnet, Aloha West is second fastest horse to Jackie and has the best late pace of all the horses besides Jackie. He's
off a bit. Aloha West might be 12 lengths back at the half.
Yeah, Aloha West is not even like one of the slower horses early in here.
And if I'm looking at horses off a bit, I'm probably starting to look at like a Following C or a Dr. Scheibel or Forense.
CZ.
What's that?
CZ or Lexingtonian even.
See, I think CZ will be back as far just as Aloha West, if not further back.
I just need to ask PDT if he likes Lexingtonian because I have never been on the right side of Jack Sisterson horse. So if he likes Lexingtonian, he's on my ticket, and if he doesn't, then I'm gonna toss.
Well, the thing is much like you've never found the pick 5 carryover you didn't like. I don't know if PDT's ever found a Jack Sisterson horse you didn't like. So.
So also, I stand corrected. Matera Sky, or not Matera Sky, Jasper, whatever his name is. His first preference is actually the dirt mile. Believe it or not.
Wow.
So Jackie's Warrior's gonna have some company early.
So they think Life is Good is softer.
I don't know what they think.
If their preference is the mile, then they'd rather go against Life is Good.
Yeah, I agree. I get what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, we're man, my timing for this was way off because we're going to be going late here. But BC Mile, Euro or North America or the world. And what do we got here? Mark just typed in Space Blues Bitches. So, Mark, why don't you talk about Space Blues a little bit?
I think Space Blues is probably your most likely. Well, there's a little bit of a caveat with Space Blues. He's never gone a mile. But assuming he gets a mile, I think Space Blues is arguably one of your most likely winners on the weekend. He's an absolute freak. He's crazy fast, loves winning, and he's made me a lot of money over the years. So I love me some Space Blues. He was a freak in Dubai. His last race at Longchamp, where it looked like he honestly didn't handle the ground that in the Le Forêt. Last out looked like he didn't really love the ground and still basically ran everybody down late. He's just stupid fast, stupid classy, stupid good horse, and I think he's an absolute ice cold single. I will be ice cold single to him. I was actually shocked when I saw this. I can't believe they're shipping him here. I was absolutely blown away that they're going to ship him to the States. And then I would imagine they probably retire him after this race, which is really freaking cool. Love to see him run one more time and before he goes to the shed.
Well, two of you guys went with the North American contingent here. Caleb, what do you see? What are you seeing from North America that stands out to you here?
Yeah, so it's not that any particular North American horse stood out to me here. It's just really the Europeans didn't stand out. Like Space Blues is probably the best horse in this race, but I don't know that he really wants to go a mile. I'm a big believer that mile turf races are won by true milers. You don't usually see horses that stretch out and win in these top tier mile races or horses that cut back. Generally milers win mile races on the turf. Now if we had, Palace Pier or Baid or Poetic Flare or anyone else show up from Europe, maybe I would change my vote here. But this kind of feels like the European JV squad as far as their milers go. So I'm not really afraid of anybody here. I think that the Americans actually hold a decent hand in this race. I think Mo Forza on his day is as good as any other horse going a mile on the grass. He's just a bit of a tough horse to trust given some of the breaks he's had in terms of staying on the racetrack. Smooth like straight, hit the road. They all have home field advantage and are nice horses. Paulo Lobo sends two who are both contenders here, I think. Ivar and In Love both make some sense. Mark Cassey is super high on Got Stormy, who I like as well in this race a little bit. The whole logic there is kind of tight turns is where she does well, which if you look at her record in the 4-star Dave, I guess that kind of makes sense. But there's a lot of American horses that I think you could make a case for. I know Brian probably likes Blowout, but I'm not going to touch that one. But beyond that, the Europeans don't do much for me. Space Blues is the best European, and I don't think he's a miler. If Real Appeal would happen to draw in off the also eligibles list, he would have my attention. That's the number 16, the German bred. But as far as the others, I'm just not that impressed from the European contingent that's come over. So I went with home team here.
I'm actually surprised that you don't like Blowout in the spot. Brian, who do you like in here? Yeah, there it is. There it is. Blowout, baby.
But Brian, what about your background?
I'm not sure it happened. I'm not sure it happened at all.
Nick says, what are all you guys going to do when Raging Bull wins this race?
I'm going to quit horse racing. If Raging Bull wins this race, I will no longer bet on horses ever again.
I'll take the under.
Caleb's going to do what he's doing right now.
Okay, maybe I'll do some of that too.
Little baby splash here.
Little baby splash. Because so Order of Australia is retired. So Ivar is going to draw in. I don't know if they
did retire him.
Broke his leg.
He had a bad setback. Well, they call it a setback in training like 2 days ago, and I was like,
"Oh,
yeah, you don't."
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, the same setback. Same setback Alex Smith had. His bone sticking through his leg. Just a setback.
Who was that basketball player in the NCAA tournament? Right? Didn't he go off?
That was horrible. That was horrible.
He destroyed his ankle.
I'm gonna show my age here. I want you guys to go YouTube Sid Vicious from wrestling in like 1990. He went off the top rope and his bone popped out of his leg. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, oof. All right. I also took the European contingent here. I thought Space Blues looked really strong here, and I was a little bit interested too in Mother Earth. See what she does in this spot. She did win a G1, and came back and finished pretty good against a couple of some really nice milers last time out. But
who is?
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Mhm.
considering Brexit happened,
Mhm.
is Ireland still in the EU?
I mean, whatever. It's Aiden.
Okay.
I just have a question, Mark. Who gets the mount on your spacey horse for you not to like it anymore?
Kevin Ware.
If-
There we go. That's the Louisville. That's the player.
If Mike Smith ends up on the horse, I would not use him.
Man, Mike Smith is just gonna come like
Yes.
pissing our Cheerios at least on one of these horses, right?
He's probably will.
Appleby
I mean,
loves Mike Smith.
He does.
Doesn't William Buick ship for this? I mean William Buick's going to
Yeah.
have to be here. He's got other
He'll
mounts.
ship
William
for this
Buick's
for
going to be
sure.
on it, and
Right.
I mean he would literally ship for this one mount the entire weekend.
Who's the guy who got COVID last year?
Oh, that was the guy that was supposed to ride Turnawa, wasn't it?
Oisin? Was it
COVID,
Oisin
though. He
Murphy?
did something else.
Yeah, always.
Oisin Murphy? Was that who it was? Or
It might have been. I think it was Oisin. Yeah, I think you're right, Josh. I think it was Oisin.
All right. BC Distaff. This one's easy. Latruska or the field. I think Latruska is probably the second most likely winner, maybe third most likely winner on the entire weekend. So I took Latruska. Brian was in agreement with me because he's very good looking, very smart, and also from the south side of Chicago. No?
I'll take it.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's better than telling people I'm from Indiana with all the corn and hillbillies.
you were born in Indiana? You used to talk about Balmoral all the time, so I figured you were born in Illinois. So
I'm closer to Belmore. I'm closer to Belmore than you are, and I'm in a different state.
well, that's true. But the two ugly. Well, I can't call Caleb ugly. I'm sorry. But Caleb and Mark both took the field. Caleb, what's your thinking here?
Yeah, so I like Latruska. I really do. Her race 2 back I thought was just super, super good. In the personal ensign. Just an awesome race. But the more I looked at this race, on paper, on any set of figures I looked at, she's just not that much the best. There should be pace pressure here. I've said that before and I've been fooled, but this isn't Naira, so hopefully there actually is some pace. I mean, Sheer is the Devil, Private Mission, obviously Latruska, Horologist has some speed. So I'm like, well, maybe she doesn't get that uncontested lead. Now, it's not that Latruska needs an uncontested lead, but I just thought it's a big field, and there's a lot of really nice fillies and mares in here. I mean, Malafat looks, like she could be a monster. I mean, 6 wins out of 7 starts. Royal Flag, I was super impressed with in her last start. I mean, she dares the devil. She's beaten Latruska once before already. You never know when Rosario might decide to, pull another rabbit out of the hat there. So, I do think Latruska's the likeliest winner, but I don't think she's with this race 50% of the time. And there's too many other good horses in here.
Is Josh trying to open a bottle?
I'm not. I was actually texting Crime Stone. He was actually asking me where I was going to be for BC next week. Mark, what are your thoughts here?
I just think there's a lot of really good horses. All the reasons Caleb said, Latruska isn't that much faster than everybody else in here. I really like her. I mean, I really, really do. She's been great. You love a horse that loves to win, and she's great for the sport with how she wins, how she runs, and just being, super, super game. But there's a lot of interesting players in here. I think Clariere is a little interesting. Horologist is even a little interesting in here. She dares the devil, I think, or Royal Flag, as Caleb said on both of them. I think those are my two, most likely antagonists in here. And even somebody like a Dunbar Road, I think there could be a situation where there's a lot of pace in here and Pratt gets a really good setup, and maybe she can finally get it done. So I just think there's too many other players in here. This is such a, open field. It's one of the races in the sequence that in this late pick 6 that I really want to spread on. So I just, the Latruska probably I put her right in the winner's circle, but
I love that
there are a lot of other interesting players.
I love that chat is just roasting Mark on why Ireland wouldn't be in the EU. Dude, Massey just comes in, Mister. I don't even watch the Breeders' Cup, so it was Somu Young who had COVID. Thank you.
I don't know why I'm getting flack here. All I simply said was is Ireland in the EU?
Why would Ireland be in the EU? Yeah.
Because of Brexit.
I mean, I think there's a difference between the EU and just generally referring
in generally in Europe. That
The
was where
Republic
I
of
was
Ireland is not the UK.
going. I am well aware.
You may be
But
confused with Scotland.
In all
You're
fairness,
talking to a guy that thought Arkansas had a beach and a coast.
That's
so-
right. The nice coastline in Arkansas.
you do a lot of kite surfing in Arkansas.
Yeah. All right. We got two more discussions, and then we got some quick fire questions to end this out. BC Turf, once again, NA or the world? Let's take a look at the answers here. Brian, you're the only one who took North America. I have to look at the entries because I don't even know. I mean, domestic spending, Gufo, Rock Emperor,
Caleb knows where I'm at.
Imperador,
Was it rhyme
United.
with Blanosmat?
Blannel Smat,
What?
Blannel Baker.
He's not going to draw in though.
He's not going to draw in.
I know. No, it's one of those things where I figured I honestly think the Euros are more talented, and I strictly went with the North American selection here for game theory to be different. If I get lucky and somebody like Gufo steals this race, then hey, look, I look like a genius. Chances are, there's so many questions here. A lot of these. How many of these horses are cross-entered? I was so confused. I'll be honest. I was at work looking at this. I'm like, holy crap! These horses are all cross-entered 3 different ways. I don't know who's going to be in where. So why not? That being said, United is really good, and I'm not sure if United meets the match today or not today, but that day. You got. Oh man, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this. What's that?
United won his last race. He won't win this one.
Right. It's on again, off again.
Who's United?
The airline company that bought American.
Are you sure? Tributhan? Is that who you're talking about? Sorry, I'm doing my Andy Serling impression. Continue.
Oh, then I'll be Stabile. Well, ball. I kind of like the guy, but I don't know. You make fun of me, Andy. It's okay. No, listen. It's one of those things. I took a shot. And I want to be different than you guys. And I knew Caleb was going to take Europe. I knew Mark was going to take whatever chalk he can find, probably from the European Republic of Ireland. I don't know because I don't know how that works. I don't even know where it's at. Maybe it's next to Japan. I'll let Mark tell me later.
Oh, dude, I wasn't even looking at chat. And of course, the first thing Road Warrior says is North American. It's a shame Tributhan isn't in this spot, isn't in the race. Man.
It is a shame, though. He's completely right. Like, you have fucking Acclimate in this race. Like what has he done? I mean, he won a grade 3.
I'll give him Acclimate, right? I'll give him Acclimate. But, like, the fact that Serling is like, why is United here? Like, I'm like, come on. Like,
was he really upset about United, or was he saying, because he kind of did come back and then say, maybe United belongs on some of his career.
United
should Acclimate doesn't.
But
United should be here. Agreed. United should be here. Acclimate? Come on.
I mean, unless that race he won was a winner you're in, which for a grade 3, I doubt it. But
yeah,
I think so. And the race that Trib won was like he was on LASIK, so it didn't count as a win as you're in or something like that. That was not the thing. So Japan should draw in here, right?
Yeah, Japan will draw in.
I hope so.
Trib needs one more scratch.
Dude, I'm going back to the Japan well, baby. I'm going back to the Japan well.
Japan well. Me too.
Are you counting Japan as a European?
Yeah.
How? The last 2 races were in North America.
Trained by Aiden O'Brien. Get the heck out of here with your.
Okay, if you're going to go that far, then.
So wait. Does country of origin dictate the trainer? Where the trainer is based out of? Because that's what you just implied.
Dude, I knew you motherfuckers were going to do this.
Okay, so Chad Brown.
I knew you guys were going to do this.
So Chad Brown trains a Turkish horse, and that's a North American because it's Chad Brown. Is that what we're doing here?
Absolutely.
That's what Josh just said. Josh just said that. Yes.
Dude, otherwise all of Chad Brown's horses come from like freaking like Chad Brown's got like a soccer squad over there, dude. He's out there in like the farmlands of France, like scouting these damn soccer players or whatever, dude. Like, get out of here.
Do you think he goes himself?
No, he's probably got someone else to do that, but yeah, no, I actually really like Japan's gonna be keyed underneath everywhere for me. I thought Japan's race 2 back. I mean, he should have won. Ran into some trouble. I don't know what happened in the last race. I got to go back and watch it. I know I watched it and probably made notes. I don't remember if I marked trouble for Japan, but I mean, Rock Emperor won, so we can just toss that race, right? Yeah, I don't know. I really like Japan in the spot.
I'm just glad you're talking about the North American horse so highly. That's solid.
All right, I'm done with this race. All right, this is our last race. I was thinking about doing Brad Cox versus the field, but I figured everyone would just take Brad Cox because he's got the 1 and the 2 here. But head to head, who finishes further, or who finishes ahead of each other? Nick Sko or Essential Quality? Caleb and I seeing eye to eye here, both taking Nick Sko. Mark and Brian taking Essential Quality. Caleb, just go ahead and wax poetic about Nick Sko.
I mean, Nick Sko. I mean, help me do the math here, Josh. How many cherries is that?
Really?
Oh, that's 3 cherry horse.
That's a 3 cherry special.
Is that a North American? Is that a North American horse? Because I know it's owned by the Japanese stable. So how's that work?
It's actually South
North
Korea.
American cherries, or are they Japanese?
South Korea.
Yeah, I mean, maraschino cherries. What is it?
This is actually not that hard for me. I just think Nick Sko is better. Pretty much the worst race he's run around 2 turns since getting into the Brad Cox barn anyway is as good as the best race Essential Quality has ever run on time form. On his best, nobody gets within 4 lengths of Nick Sko. And even on his B-level races around 2 turns, he's as good as Essential Quality. I mean, I know there's pace pressure in here. That's probably the only way Nick Sko gets beat. But he's just a faster horse right now, and I don't think this one's that hard.
Yeah, I think Nick Sko is just the best older horse going right now. I mean, I know Essential Quality is technically still 3, but at this point, you know.
I mean, he's not going to race as an older horse, so you got to sort of put him in that category.
Yeah, but I'll stick with Nick Sko until proven otherwise. Essential Quality is a really nice horse. I don't know. I see them probably running 1-2 in this spot, and it's going to be kind of a chalky classic. But I think Nick Sko is just going to get the lead and just not look back. Mark, why did you choose Essential Quality, and why are you so surprised that you chose Essential Quality?
I thought I chose Nick Sko, and apparently I failed miserably at this. But no, no. I mean, I for all the reasons Caleb said, I think Nick Sko is just a faster horse. I don't know. I didn't think I chose Essential Quality, but apparently I fail at simple tasks, and filling my choices into a spreadsheet is apparently way too hard for me. So, Brian, go ahead.
Steven can help you with spreadsheets.
This is why we keep him around, because he saves my ass with spreadsheets. I fail miserably at them.
I was a little disappointed this question wasn't Brad Cox versus Brad or Bob Baffert here, because I think Medina Spirit's going to be ready to go. Bob's going underneath all of the drug testing and everything, and he's going to want to win this race to prove that the Derby was not a fluke. So I think that horse is going to be primed and ready to go. That said, I like Essential Quality. I've liked Essential Quality since that first win in Churchill Downs as a 2-year-old. So I will take Essential Quality. The horse is versatile, can run close, can close, and if there's any pace pressure, I think Essential Quality will set the trip and win.
I got to ask, because I know this horse has been, I guess, locked in controversy all year. What odds do you need to bet Medina Spirit in this spot?
3-1.
3-1? You're gonna get.
You'll probably get that.
You'll get.
You're gonna
3-1.
probably
6-1 on the morning line.
And if Bob Baffert wins the early races, Medina Spirit will take money.
Yeah, Baffert is a trainer that, when it comes to Breeders' Cup, I really watch to see how his horses are firing.
Yep.
You know, if Corniche wins, if, you know, as time goes by, or Private Mission wins, if Gamine wins, I might look at Medina Spirit a little bit more, because that's kind of the way he goes. But to me, he's at best the 3rd pick. He's probably the 4th pick in here, because I actually like Hard Charlie better than Medina Spirit, plus both the Cox horses. I even have maybe a slight hunch that Art Collector might be able to run more than Medina. So I would probably need, I don't know, 6-1, 8-1, which I'm not going to get.
I would be a little interested at the morning line 6-1. I don't think I'm going to get 6-1 though. All right, let's take a look at chat here. Jimmy Two Eyes going Essential Quality. Nick Feldman taking Nick's Go. Road Warrior taking Essential Quality. Jimmy Two Eyes says anyone but Baffert. Which I think a lot of people are saying that. Yeah. Nick really likes Hot Rod Charlie. Hot Rod Charlie, what is he on the morning line? 9-2. He might be a little sneaky here. Honestly, I think the real value in this race, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. I mean, Caleb, you already know who I'm going to say.
I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
I think it might be Tripoli.
Oh my God! But they took Tiago off.
Did they? I mean, he's 15-1 on the morning line. I mean, that was a nice race that he won. Like I don't know where it came from, but I mean that was a really nice race. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I really think it's Nick's Go's race to lose, but maybe I have a little bit too much faith. Oh yeah, Nick. Yeah, I read on Tripoli. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty interested there, but all right, we got 4 more questions left. We're gonna go rapid fire here, and see if we can get out here in a decent time. BC weekend over under a $30 winner. Everyone took the over, so I don't think there's any surprise here. We're gonna think now. Remember, for people who are going to be entering this contest, and once again, I'll post it on Twitter. You can email us or you can DM me or whatever. These are only BC races. So I don't care if there's a 16-1 winner on the undercard in either day. Only the BC races. So what is that? 5 races on Friday. 5 races on Friday and then 9 races on Saturday. So before any of these questions here. So we all took the over. I'm sure everyone thinks there's going to be a bomb. We just don't know where it's going to be. Probably not much to talk there.
I'd say $50. I'd still take the over. I think there's at least 1 or 2 bombs. There might be 3 bombs over $3 easily.
Baffert wins over under 1.5. Everyone but Mark took the under. Mark, why did you take the over?
That's me. That's Brian. Brian took the over.
Oh,
yeah,
my bad.
I took the under. Yeah, this is why I'm a little concerned about this list because I think that
you definitely took Essential Quality because that's the only one that says EQ. You definitely took that. You can fix it. Like I said, I'm going to give the same rules for us as I am for the viewer contest. And once again, if you guys are just tuning in, viewer participation, I'll post these questions. You send it to me. We got On the Wrong Lead swag coming your way. We got Stable Duel swag coming your way to the winner. So we'll get those out there for you guys to enter somehow to me. But all right, Brian, who else do you think Baffert wins? I mean, obviously you're thinking Gamine. Who else are you thinking wins?
You got Gamine. You probably have one of those 3 entries in the Juvenile, considering he has 40% of the field. And then, if Latruska doesn't fire, he's got 2 entries in the distaff that both might be okay. And that's not even counting the non-popular Medina Spirit, which could very well steal that race because he wants to prove he's not a cheater. The dirt mile, I don't think he wins. 8 rings, not going to win that race. But so I need 1 win on Friday, 1 win on Saturday. It's Breeders' Cup. Baffert's not going to get shut out.
All right, BC weekend Euro winners. Now, okay, this includes Japan, so this is the world.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Non-NA winners. You're going to change your answer then?
Oh yeah, Japan. I'm going
to go over. Okay.
Wait, but is this Japan the country or Japan the horse?
I mean, it's both.
Was Japan involved in Brexit?
That was talked about in comments. So
yes,
Mark is just does not know where he is right now. He's had too much scotch. But so it looks like me and Caleb are on under, and Brian, you're going to change to over?
I'm going over now.
All right. Caleb, why do you think under?
I think the Europeans get probably 2 on Saturday. I think they win the Philly and Mare Turf, or the non-Americans win the Philly and Mare Turf, and they win the overall turf race. I think they probably get 1 more win between the juvenile races on Friday, either the juvenile fillies or the juvenile turf. or maybe the mile. I don't think they win the mile though. So I think they end up with 3 wins on the weekend.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at. I think 3 sounds about right. I don't think they get that 4th win to get the over. But Mark, you think I'm wrong?
Yeah, no, I took the 4. I think, and I understand that the 2-year-old races, the U.S. tends to do very well in, relatively speaking. But I think the U.S. we get at least 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday, so that gives me 4.
All right, now this,
I still need clarification on who's actually Europe and who's North American because I'm confused. Yes.
Well, this is the one that no one's going to be confused about. All right, this is the 15th question. This could decide the entire thing. BC weekend, Larry Ravelli, over under 0.5 wins.
Get out.
Hey, it's part of the contest. All right,
He-
we're gonna need answers. I took the over.
He
He's gonna
doesn't-
win. He's gonna win that juvenile sprint. He's got the best horse in that race. The juvenile turf sprint.
Hold on, I'm looking for an entry for
E.T.
him.
Baird. E.T. Baird is just gonna go ahead, shoot that horse to the
Is
front.
E.T. Baird really getting that mount?
I hope so. He better get that mount because if it's not E.T. Baird, he's gonna have to call Valdivia, right? Like who else is he gonna call?
Because I'll tell you, if E.T. Baird ends up on that mount, I will root so hard for that horse because my God, nothing would make me happier than E.T. Baird.
E.T. Baird, yeah, winning a
winning a
juvenile
Breeders'
race,
Cup
yep.
race. That would be so cool. That would be the coolest thing ever. But yeah.
Yeah, he's got the juvenile turf sprint.
So he has 1 entry the entire weekend. I'll take the under.
You're gonna take the under.
Yes, he has 1 entry in a 12-horse race,
I mean, the
I
under
just-
felt so obvious. I was like, no, just. Stop.
and the jockey's 87 years old.
Is it Perry Wayne Oots?
No, it's E.T. Baird.
We just talked about this, Caleb. God damn it, keep up.
I mean, it's a clear 3 cherry horse right here with the E8. So
Nick's got a great question, and that would have been a good one. Damn.
which jockey gets the most
that
wins
would've
on
been
the
a good one,
weekend
yeah.
for BC
That would've been a
races?
good one.
E.T.
You know
we,
what,
don't know,
Nick?
we don't know who's where yet, though, so it's tough to answer right now.
You know what, Nick? This is just for you. All right, just for you. Just in case we do have a tie, like a tie. We're gonna make that a tiebreaker question. I'm gonna put it in
This
as a
is
tiebreaker
way better
question.
than your Ravelli question. This is way
No,
better.
yeah, but the reality question's in. Sorry, I'm judge, jury, and
So you're gonna have an even number of questions, so we could theoretically have a tie. Nice job, Josh.
How do you
No,
rate
it's
my
15
answer
questions.
of stop?
it's 15 questions. Well, you're gonna have to change it before Thursday. Otherwise, you're gonna be sending some bourbon my way. So
I got you, Caleb. I changed it.
Thanks, Brian.
Brian just put Arlington. So
Most wins on the weekend.
But Arlington is the under, clearly, right, Brian?
There's gonna be no more winners there.
Clearly the under.
I knew you'd get
Or,
that
or
joke.
Brian, are we all winners that there's never going to be more racing there?
Oh no, nobody's a winner for that.
all right, I answered mine.
I want props.
He took E.T. Baird.
God.
I'll take Flavian.
Go on, Mark. Throw some weird Irish UK Brexit jockey out there.
Right there, Joel, my weird UK Brexit jockey.
All right, well that's fine. Then give me the haircut. I want the haircut.
Irad?
Of course. It's not a Thursday, is it?
No, unfortunately, the Breeders' Cups are on the weekends.
Yeah, and Jimmy Two Eyes also going Rosario. So
Nobody takes. I'm surprised nobody took Luis.
Who's he end up on though?
Yeah, I just don't know if he has enough mounts. I mean, I know Bella
that's my
Sophia looks good, but like, who else is he really on? Like, I don't know. And maybe
Yep.
like once we see the entries officially, maybe I'll change my vote.
Maybe.
But
That's the same. Yeah.
I just got a text from Nick Feldman. He wants Ricardo Santana Jr.
Nick Feldman's taking Ricardo. All right, Nick. I don't care what you send me via message, but that's going to be your tiebreaker. Yeah, that's going to be it. So I'll get these posted on Twitter. If you guys don't have Twitter, you can email me at ontherwronglead@gmail.com. I'll send you guys over the list. But yeah, we'll like I said, contest between us here and On the Wrong Lead. It'll be a nice little gentleman's wager for a bottle of bourbon to the winner. Or Brian, if you want a case of beer from Three Floyds, we can do that as well. Actually, 2 cases of beer at the prices that we're looking at.
I'm not going to win, brother. I have Japan in 7 spots. I'm not going to win.
But yeah, I'll clean this up and I'll change the euros to the world. We'll go ahead and do that next week. We're going to be streaming Thursday night for Friday, and we're going to be streaming Friday night for Saturday. My guess, if anything, if the past is any indication, we'll probably be pretty trashed on Friday night because we've had lost all of our money. Because I don't know why we bet Fridays.
And if I arrive, I will be fresh out of a wedding, so
Yeah.
I will be 100% trashed. It will be quite entertaining.
Yeah, so we'll be on Thursday and Friday. We'll talk a little bit more through the races and actually breaking down with PPs. Like I said, get us our entry by end of day next Thursday, and yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Check out Manscaped. You guys see our code here at the bottom, manscaped.com. Use the code WrongLead to get 20% off, and I think you get free shipping too. So
You do.
But yeah, we'll catch you guys later. What if I told you that the perfect man did exist, but he was cursed? I mean, he's just a complete handicapper. East Coast, West Coast, Midwest. Might be the best I've ever seen. He could be the best looking guy in all of horse racing. I mean, he gives Matt Bernier a run for his money. I mean, we all saw it. He was minding his own business, walking back from the bathroom. Hottest girl in the bar just grabs him and says, "Reel me in." Turns out you can't always be that lucky, though.
Zulu Alpha charges up the rail under Tyler Gaffleon and takes the lead late. Zulu Alpha wins the Pegasus World Cup Turf.